All right, hello everybody, and welcome to your daily lighting critique. We have Cleber, we have Kat, and we have Aaron on with us, and we'll do it a little bit. We'll do Kat's first, and then Cleber and Julia, and then Aaron. We'll circle back to yours at the end because I think it's going to take a little more time if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. All right, Kat, let's start here with yours. So this is the latest and greatest. Is it an orc? Am I saying? Is it orc?
We'll go with that. It was originally a cave troll. It's morphed into a hell orc.
Now, cave troll the hell orc. That's the name of this person's biography. Cave. All right, cool. So I think the teeth look a lot better. So now they're before they were too perfect in the color. Now they're too perfect in the surface. Like I think we need some more height breakup and like roughness in the spec because they look a little bit too. Perfect ivory teeth thing. I love the color palette of this. I love the like intense red. I do think we could probably pull back on the saturation on the red a touch, but the other thing is I think we can push this blue light harder because I still like the one thing that I'm afraid of with this is like you spent so much time modeling this that we want to make sure that people can see the detail that you put into it. And because this is the hard part about being the creative person because you have spent so much time with this that you know every nook, every cranny of it. But lots of times when people see it, they'll just take a look at it for a second, a second or two. So you really want to make sure that they are, seeing the detail that you want to put in. And then so there's increasing that. Getting some more shaping in the eye would be really cool too. Right now it's a little bit flat, like the sclera part, the yellowy part, and then the red glow we can glow that up a little bit too with a little more diffusion on top of that. The tongue feels like the height in the tongue feels a little too deep. I would try and make those more like maybe find some reference, but I think I was
messing around with some different sculpt tools, and I'm not sure if I like how it came out. I want the crease, but I was putting little dots on it, and it just kind of made it all wonky. So
to me, I think it's like the taste bud looking things, like little dots, and then like a variation in the color as we go back into like there's like plaque or something on the tongue. But I think there's like as a concept, this is coming together really well. What do you guys think? Aaron or Cleber? Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying I like it. I'd be interested to see like, is this going to be on your reel as like a modeling piece, or is it going to be a lighting piece? Like I've not been around, so I don't know what the plan is.
This is a mess around piece to learn sculpting, so I don't really have any goals for it. This was just like literally my first attempt at sculpting a creature. Okay. So if it ends up looking good enough to be on a reel, cool. If not, I'm good with that too. I basically picked up a tutorial for Cave Troll, and it ended up, I kind of free-handed this whole thing. Just, like, following their workflow and just kind of doing different stuff with it. So, I mean if it ends up good enough for a demo reel, I put it on there, but that's not, like, the main goal of it. If it turns out good, though.
I think that inevitably you should show two versions. If you decide to put this on a reel, you should show two versions. Show your mesh as is, like that super high res. And then, and I only say this because I do this for my job, but like I would show retopology of this and show that you can put the image, the maps back to, and it needs to look close to your original. So if you set out and it's not set up for that, inevitably you'll end up scrapping. But yeah, as you're showing like high res sculpting, I would definitely show that you know how to retopologize, because basically what you're talking about is you're talking about taking I'm taking a scan and then like showing that you could make it a usable mesh.
I haven't even gotten into how to do that yet. Okay. This is basically the tutorial's basically for beginners. So he doesn't go into that, and he actually does all texture painting, whereas I went and got actually got textures to put on there and worked in Substance. So I haven't gotten to that part
cool.
yet.
The other thing too, two other things that was as I was looking at this was there's a sharp shadow in here, and then if you could, with this light, it kind of is like it would be great to get like a little darkness in here from the inside of the ear. Yeah, just to break up that side a little bit.
Okay. Kat, I'm very picky. I see like the ear. I think, if it said like see variation, I think the ear you could have like a texture of more to look as an ear than the skin. I think maybe the eye, you have a glow, but the glow does not touch the eyes around, and looks like it's a robot inside of that skull. I think it's like a robot that if you remove, it's look like more as a robot eye than
because it's got that Terminator glowing red eye thing.
Yeah, and the light, I would test a yellow light instead of white. I would test just to see, because it's so scary. I think the white pushes for the good guy and the red for the bad guy. Yeah, he's in between. Maybe I would test yellow.
Okay.
Yes. And if you want more, you could even add some, I don't know how call it's licking in his mouth.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. I might have to. I was gonna maybe sculpt something, or I don't know. Hadn't figured out how I was gonna do that yet.
Well,
yeah.
He looks scary. I'm a little bit. I don't like scary movies. So.
You're like, I don't like him. I'm feel bad making critiques of him because I'm afraid he's gonna come after me in my streams.
Yeah. Okay, but he's scary.
Yeah, he's. All right, cool.
Do you just real quick, Mike? The ratio between the dark side and the light side of the face, is that good? Other than I know brightening up the light side, but do I need to bring more red into the dark side, or do you think it's good where it's at?
I think it's good where it's at. We'll try. Okay. Yeah, we'll try and balance it as is because I like kind of the shaping that it's giving. I like that we're getting a tighter line here to distinguish the edge. There's a little bit in here, but then it allows us to fade into some darkness on this side. Like there's kind of like multiple phases. There's the tight, bright. There's the soft, and then there's the dark. That's creating kind of like multiple layers of shaping. So I think it's good.
And do you like his chin better?
With
the red on it.
Okay. Yeah, if we could get
I think it pops better.
Yeah, if I was because in my head I was thinking it would be more like a line on there, but I think that works out pretty well too.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
All right, Cleber. Let's talk about it. What's what we got updated? What's different?
I'm not sure if I'm trying to push contrast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push dark in the front. I feel maybe that's a good question I have today.
I think oh God, I'm sorry.
I'm a kind of an artist that I planning myself to not return to the 3D as maximum as I can. So I do a light group, light select. I do max. I separate all my lights, like you saw in my another project. I even found now I'm separating the specularity per light. So instead I remove one specularity of the other is a fight. I start, okay, why I should not just separate my specularity and I could turn on and off. So I try the maximum I can, but I feel few times like with the project, I had to return when things are changed, like depends where I put the lights, there's no way back. I have to return.
Yeah.
So for this one, I didn't return yet. So I try push. Probably there is a light in the front here. If I turn off this light, the dome light, it's interfering from this side. But I try push the dark from this side to get more contrast. But this all in post. I didn't return yet to the rendering. I think for the point why you will.
I think that's a good workflow actually. I mean, I like setting it up in the render, sending it to the comp, and then I mean, everybody has their own way of doing it, but for me, I like to use the comp as kind of like developing the look of it a little bit, and then going back to the render and being like, okay, now that I know exactly how I want this to look, then you can adjust the lighting and stuff, because then you start to get the secondary effects in the extra bounce light that like you said, like having this light be more frontal. You kind of can't get rid of it entirely, or all the effects of it. So you'll start to do that. I think the contrast is starting to look a lot better. I think the one thing that happens when you increase contrast is you have to be mindful of saturation as well, because as contrast it gets increased, the saturation starts to get boosted as well, especially in the darks. So you just want to make sure that I'm just kind of looking off here into the sides especially, and then a little bit down here in front. Not so much on her, but the saturation points are becoming a little bit strong. So I would just make sure to pull those back. I think there's like the blue of the bear on her is very punchy as well. It's like a little bit, it's what, because actually what happens right in here, like if you just kind of look at her, there's a little bit of kind of the colors clashing, where her skin here is being hit by kind of neutral light, and the bear feels very blue, and then her hair feels very green. And so I think that I love the way that her skin tone is, and I think once we get a little eye ding in the corner there, I think she'll really like her skin, and she will itself look really good. The hair, I know that there's some green paint in there, but we're missing that. We're just kind of missing that golden blonde look a little bit. So I would just kind of work that out a little bit, and just allow that green to kind of be just in the areas where there's the actual paint, so it's not quite over the top there. And then and actually doing that too, maybe even a little bit less blue on her, a little bit too. Let's see. Just to kind of pull, just to pull a little bit more warmth into her. But I think but I love the direction that it's going. I think that we're starting to feel much more of the light coming in from behind her, and I think that's a really nice balance. And then just watch out. There's a couple parts, like a little bit here on the boots, that are a little bright. So I just kind of tone those down a little bit. I love that you can feel a little, like, I think that's right, that you can feel a little bit of the light direction, the key light direction, but maybe not quite that intense. But I think, I think it's feeling pretty good. And then, I think it's looking good overall.
Thanks. My next version, I probably will do in 3D, because I have so many notes. Like now I want a material for the front part of the sofa, and from the top I want another material just to have more control. So I feel that's the tricky part. I feel that when I return for the 3D to make these adjustments, I feel that maybe will be a different version.
Yeah.
Will be a third version. Will be not like this one upgraded. Will be one that walks sideways.
Yeah. No, that'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I think you're right, because that's kind of what happens, right? Because you learn things as you go, and then as you're learning, and that's usually when I'm at my best, is when you can. I always run into a problem if I get like married to a concept from the beginning, and I'm not able to adjust to just what's working, and being aware of what's working, and like kind of flow with that. So the fact that like a next iteration is not just a progress but actually different is a good thing.
Thanks.
Usually, sometimes you go worse, but then you just need people to tell you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I just want to take a look at Julia's here real quick, and then we'll hop over into Aaron. So again, here's the Painterly reference. Julia, thank you for posting the reference each time. That's helpful, especially in something as stylized as this. So because it's really nice just to kind of flip back and forth. And actually, I like to do this too, where I will keep it in the same image but make the reference actually pretty small, because there's value in things being like a thumbnail size. And your painterly look is really good. I even think you could possibly push that a little bit harder. But I think the style of it's really nice, and like just kind of the breakup down here in the wood. The one thing that I think, yeah, I like the extra light here on the hand. It's all looking good. I just think on the character, and I know that the skin tone of the character is darker than the reference, but I still think we could probably push it a little. I think we could push the key light just a little bit harder. Let's see. So if I take, let's see, let me just take like this section of the character. Push that a little. I think we just like go a little bit more, because just looking at how bright it gets in there. There, but like maybe a little bit more in that region. I wonder if. So normally we keep a really nice warmth on the bat on Desmodus here, and you've kept that. Just wondering. I'm just gonna try something here real quick. Just wonder if, just to keep the style, to pulling off the saturation. Let's see. I don't know if I like that, but I don't know if I like the color as much. I think I like your warmer color, but definitely adding some a little pop of light would be good. Also, they've got a really good. They do a good job of creating the kind of the halo effect behind the character too, and just making, because there's just like a part of it. It doesn't have to be the whole thing like this, but there's a part of what's directly behind the character's head that's a little bit brighter, and so just kind of keeping that to kind of focus us in on the center is really good. I actually, looking at this now too, I actually think we could probably get a little bit darker in this bottom quarter of the image. Just to kind of really ground us down there. But I think it's looking great. Just to kind of ground that, keep us focused in here. Might be a little heavy, but.
I was actually going to say something similar. His feet, but you're adding darkness altogether. It might say his feet look a little not differentiated from the floor. So like if you added a dark gradient where his feet are no gradient, and then behind his feet, inside of his cape toward the back, you get more gradient. It might help kind of just give a little shading to that.
Also,
to that bottom part.
Maybe just even creating more ambient occlusion shadow down there would be good. Is there? Did I do that? There's a rogue piece of bat back here. Maybe I did that.
Is that his cape?
It's his cape coming around this way. Got it. Got it. Huh. I would almost clip that off. Just for this, just because like it's kind of interesting framing for something to come around and come back. It creates a disconnect, and you don't want basically you don't want other people doing what I just did. But I think it's really beautiful. I think it's really nice.
This is really cool. Do you know, the artist isn't here? Is this actually in render, this style happening, or is this?
I believe from the last time she said this was a Photoshop filter.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really cool.
You can do NPRs. You can do non-photorealistic rendering techniques, especially in RenderMan. I know they have ways of doing this. But yeah, it's a really beautiful style, especially if you can do it like animated, like that is super dope. All right, cool. All right, great job, Julia. Okay, Aaron, let's talk about it. So Aaron is back. He was on a brief stint into the metaverse. You
don't have to watch this whole thing. Really, I'm just kind of showing the breakdown of my new version versus my old.
Oh, got it. Which do you want me to play? Do you want me to play this one?
Yeah, play that one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play it. The only thing I was really adjusting in here was that there was a couple patterns of fire that were together. So I had to go through and vary a couple of different ones. This is a higher resolution render. higher quality, I should say. That was the major stuff in this section, if you look at the final frame on the old video, you'll see a major difference in this hallway. Not the hallway, this temple region. And so, yeah, I just went through, I broke down my lights. I looked at, every little individual thing that was happening. So I looked at what every light was doing. I looked at what my post-process effects were doing. And I really just went through, and I think the new version of this room is a lot more, I guess I should say, acceptable. It's basically the lighting. It's where you got me. It's going through and dissecting what was maybe causing some just kind of some crunchy shadows and high contrast areas, and making sure that my fill wasn't doing 95% of the work.
Yeah, no,
it was just kind of rebalance.
Yeah, this looks a lot better, for sure. Yeah, I think this is looking really good. Where are you? Are you still actively in it? Do you want notes on it?
I'm gonna submit this to my contact in the industry. But yeah, if you have notes, for sure. Like, I'm willing to hammer out whatever I got to do. I think after the holiday, I'll bounce onto a different project because I am quite bored with this one.
Yeah.
Especially since, there are things that I have to do every time I render this that I shouldn't have to, and I've learned how to go beyond those things. Sure. and not to deal with them on the next project. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the things, and again, this could be notes for the next project. This could be notes for this one, but the biggest ones for me, I mean the two notes that I have were in this opening one. I think I love the firelight on the walls, but there are points when it's too it's too flickery, too poppy.
Okay.
If it was a curve, I would just decrease the min and max of the curve, so it's just a little more. We've been watching a lot of fireplaces on my television at home with my kids, and so I've been very aware of how fireplaces flicker lately, and they're much more slow ramble kind of thing. And then out here, I think it's interesting because I was looking at this thinking ooh, it'd be great to get more warmth around this light, especially because it's coming in, the sun's hitting the ground so hard, just more energy around it. But looking into your breakdown, it was nice seeing that in the breakdown. This breakdown has there's a ton of energy in there, and I'm wondering, I'm genuinely asking. I think it's you know what it is, because it's almost it's not in this one. Maybe it is. You know what it is? It's that it kind of gets washed out a little bit. I almost wonder if we could push more, if there's a way to get more orange light up there. Does
it get washed out by the bounce or the fill?
Bounce.
So there's bounce.
Bounce.
Okay.
I think, but like I said, if you don't want to go back in and re-render it, I think that I think what you're showing in the breakdown is a demonstration of that understanding. So it's just not 100% fully fleshed out yet, because it's we're not seeing it on that wall yet. Because I think I love the burn of this, what I call that sunlight edge burn in the shadows, where you get that little bit of color in there. It looks so good. But yeah, it's just but this amount of light, again, I would just feel it would bounce up there a little bit too.
Yeah. I think I'll look into the warmth in that balance. I think my structure at this stage is going to be kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've learned so much in starting this one.
It looks great. I mean, this is again, to reiterate, this is your first Unreal project, right?
It's my second, but
damn it, Aaron, just say it's your first. Just say it's your first.
All right, it's my first one.
I'm kidding. Learn to market yourself, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think for an early project, what you've demonstrated in this is really, really good. I think it's it shows you've showed a command of knowledge of the tool, and now you're because there's this threshold that you pass where you're damn it, I want to do this thing and I just don't know how. And now you're elevating to the point where you can structure it where you can. There's I don't know how to make this look the way that I want, and then you kind of figure out one way to do it, but it definitely isn't the best way. And now you're at that next level, which is figuring out better workflows for iterating and all that stuff, which is great.
I'm doing really dumb things when I render this. Like for the hallways, I have to turn off my skylight because there's things that like are messing with it. And it's like in a video game, no one's gonna go in and turn off your skylight.
Yeah.
You know, like oh hold on, let me get you the real version of this. But like for the renders and it's like for a demo, it's like, oh my god, I gotta do what I gotta do because I can't. If I have to refigure this out, I'm gonna break this whole scene.
Yeah, because most of it's just like understanding the structure of it, and then, or like, you know, understanding what makes it work, and then you could, because that's how you learn new software. It's like, I wanted to do this. Oh, I think I could do it this way. Oh, that's stupid. I see why that's not working. How do I do it? Then you like ask somebody, or you do some research and you figure it out. So.
Yep.
All right, guys.
It looks a lot better than it did months ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it looks really good now.
If you could, before you wrap this up, post like, because you're amazing with iterating. If you have your first version of this and your last, I think it would be important for, not only for us but for you to see that and show the progress you've made.
Yeah,
it'd be great. I love the before.
It's gonna be an after the holiday thing. I think I'm gonna go through. I mean, depending on how many notes I get from my video game contact, like once or twice more through, and then I have another project that I'm gonna buy and download that I'm like really excited to work on. Cool. So, yeah. And
just Jasmine posted about this, but yeah, we've got Francesco's coming in January to do some critiquing. Then I'm gonna take a little critiquing break for a little bit. I was and then figure things out from there. But I've been doing it for a long time, and I also just think it's better for you guys to get some varying ideas and varying philosophies on things. So getting some different voices in there would be great. All right, cool. Let's break it up. Yeah, Cleber, what's up?
Now you are not posting more the ES time, PS time. Now the system is automatically when you post the time and they figure out where we are.
Yeah. So there's somebody. Who was it? Was it Adrian? I think it was Adrian. One of our moderators sent it to me where they were like, where basically, you can. Let me just open a new one. There's this lovely thing for anyone who's managing a Discord server called Hammer Time, which allows me to sing the MC Hammer song every time I open it. But basically, all you have to do is you put in, like, you say what time zone you're in. You say that, like, okay, I want to do something today at 5 o'clock my local time, and then I can just take this snippet of code, and I've been doing this, and I take this and I post this, and I'll be like, okay, cool, and then you guys can see. I posted here. If you look at your Discord server, it'll say whatever your local time is. Basically, where you are.
Cool, I found that you post and you'll say, "Oh, how amazing! How he knows."
I individually do it for each one of you.
Exactly.
I can't.
Okay.
Cool.
You will be posting up to Thursday. You mentioned.
Yes,
huh?
Thursday, Friday. Friday's Christmas Eve, and we'll be traveling that day. So I'll be back. I'll be here until Thursday.
Right.
All right. Be good, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.
See you later.
Take care, y'all.